Hello world and welcome back to another episode of History Repeated Itself, because today we are here to talk about, is content creation harder than a 9-to-5 job? Currently right now this is something that a lot of people are talking about again, and it's a thing that I actually want to give my opinion on this time. I know we kinda ended up bringing up this conversation a couple months ago, but really last time I didn't really take a deep dive into this whole topic, and this time I actually want to do that and answer this question. And plus I have been seeing a lot of delusional people on both sides, whether that's the people on the content creation side and also the people who are working 9-to-5s. So I just want to straight up just give my opinion on this whole situation. So first, let's get the main question out of the way. Which one is harder? Obviously, the answer to that question is simple. I will say a 9-to-5 job. You going out there and working a 9-to-5 job is something that is extremely stressful, especially the majority of the jobs out here. Like, one thing that I've been seeing for some weird reason is that when this conversation gets brought up, a lot of people who work 9-to-5s are for some weird reason getting into this extremely weird infighting and saying that like some jobs are invalid, it doesn't count to complain about. Like one take that I have been seeing a lot all over the place is saying that if you are someone who ended up working a 9-to-5 job, like a retail job, a fast food job, or like inside of a restaurant or something, you have no right to complain about your job because you're actually working a very easy C-tier job. Like, this is a real take that tons of people are saying, and also a lot of people aren't considering that a real job, which is just a absolutely insane brain dead take that anyone could even come down to that opinion. I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this video probably had experience of working inside of a retail place, and you know how stressful and terrible that could be, especially since you're barely even being paid. So the fact that people are coming down to that conclusion is crazy. And one reason why I'm seeing that a lot is that there are a lot of content creators out there who are saying that they used to work a 9-to-5 job, and then they say them being a streamer is actually harder than working a 9-to-5. And that'll be the response saying that you never worked a real job, because your job, in my opinion, isn't valid, which means everything you say completely is not real. Because if you're not out there being a destruction worker and absolutely destroying your body, you can't complain about your work. That's just an absolutely brain dead take. But yes, working a 9-to-5 is an extremely stressful thing, especially the majority of the jobs out there. But another extremely dumb take that I'm seeing a lot of people say is that you being a content creator, whether that's you being a streamer or making YouTube videos, is something that's not stressful at all and is extremely easy. This is another take that is extremely dumb. Now yes, working a 9-to-5 is harder than content creation, but to say that being a content creator is extremely easy is something that's straight up not true. The only time where I'll just 100% agree with that, where if you're a content creator and you have absolutely no right to complain, is if you got popular making extremely low quality content. That means like if you're a Twitch streamer, you know, like Asmongold, Hassan, or just any insert slop Twitch streamer, and your raise to fame is literally you just reacted to other people's work, you basically, I don't care what anyone says, you have no right to complain, because one, if you are a Reactor streamer, I don't even like to call you a content creator, you're really just a content stealer, and your whole career is built off other people's work. You're literally doing absolutely nothing but taking money from actual creators. That's why I think those people get pooped on so hard every time when they try to do this, woe's me and my life is extremely hard. And on the YouTube side, if you're someone who claims to fame was making very low quality content, like what I'm doing right now, like if this channel becomes super successful and I make a lot of money from it, you're never gonna see me complain because the majority of my content is literally just yapping. If you're someone whose claims to fame is doing something like that, low quality, easy to produce, low effort content, yeah, you have no right to complain. But here's the thing, that's not the majority of content creators out there. Most YouTubers, whether that's being big or small, a lot of them make high quality video, highly edited videos, stuff that takes a lot of time and work. And as someone who actually made higher quality videos in the past and is planning to go back into that field, it is something that is extremely difficult. It is mentally draining. It's time consuming. It takes a lot of editing maintenance skills. These are things that is very hard to do. Also, for you to be consistently creative 24/7 is also a thing that's very mentally draining. And if you're someone who disagrees with that, clearly just proven to me that you actually have never done anything creatively before in your life. Like, you saw the first episode of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and took it seriously. Like, yeah, I'm never gonna be creative again. Or you never tried to turn a hobby into like a actual career, which is something completely fine if you're like that whole second part where you don't want your hobby to become a career. That's completely cool. Hey, that's one reason why there's so much YouTubers out there where their YouTube channel is making a lot of money and they don't want to make it their career, because the split second you make something your career, it completely changes. Also, you being a streamer, that's also something that I can understand being mentally draining. Having tons of people giving their opinion on you 24/7, having to multitask and do a lot of things, especially if you're a streamer who's actually streaming. I'm not talking about reaction slop. Like, if you're someone out there and you're actually putting in an effort trying to entertain the chat, whether that's you just chatting, you playing a video game, you actively being a streamer, yeah, that's something extremely stressful. And I think if you're a streamer or content creator in that position, it's okay for you to complain, because that's something that bigger YouTubers have done. We all know that YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye has literally released videos of them talking about they're tired and how hard they're working, and people are 100% fine with that. I think you can do that, and I think as a content creator, it's fine for you to complain. But even with everything that I said, it is still delusional for you to think as a content creator that your job is harder than a 9 to 5, mainly because a lot of content creators are actually being paid well for their work. This is one thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about. One main reason why a lot of people don't take content creators seriously every time when they complain about how hard their work is for those two reasons. One, you as a content creator, how hard you work is basically your choice. You're your own boss. So if you're out there streaming extremely hard or working extremely hard, yeah, on you. And two, content creators, especially extremely successful one, big content creators, the one who are complaining, are actually well compensated for their work. Big streamers who spend the majority of their life streaming on air, but they're making millions of dollars for doing it, or they're getting paid extremely well for the work and struggle that they're going through. Most people who are working 9 to 5s are being underpaid. They're going to work, they're struggling, they're decreasing their mental health, they're not being paid well for it. This is another thing that I see absolutely no one brings up, but that's like another reason why 9 to 5 is like way more harder than content creation. Basically, to wrap up this video and to speedrun my opinion, a 9 to 5 job is harder than being a content creator. That's how it is 100% of the time. Like, I'm not gonna do this delusion that there's some exception. Working a 9 to 5 is way more harder than being any type of content creation. But content creation is also an extremely hard-working career too. They can both exist. I don't understand why we need to live in a world where content creators need to try to be like better or say it's harder than a 9 to 5, because that's simply not true. You're a content creator, especially if you're making money for it or doing it for a living, you are in a very privileged position. Yes, it is something that's hard, but you are still doing better than people who are working a 9 to 5. This is not a crazy concept. Anyway, that's it. My name is Lua. This is something that I want to talk about. You have a good day or night.